Hey, what's up guys? Hardleg Joe here with the deck profile for the Ultimate Mind Games deck. I'm just going to go through everything in here, and I'll explain how it works. So, for monsters, we've got one each of the pieces of Exodia. We've got a Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere Mode, Lava Golem, Volcanic Queen, one Artifact Labrys, two Engraver of the Mark, two Rizebel the Starpsyker, two Silver Sentinel, two Honest, three Blackwing Kalute the Moonshadow, two Pum Princess, the Princess of Ghosts, one Marshmallow, one Noisy Gnat, one Aroma Jar, one Karibo, one Swift Scarecrow, a Battle Fader, and a Reptilian Naga. For spells, we're playing two Exchange, two Gather Your Mind, one Fiend Sanctuary, three Creature Swap, one Present Exchange, three Shard of Greed, two Prohibition. For our traps, we're playing one Dark Coffin, one DD Dynamite, two Waboku, one Anti-Raigeki, three Magic Cylinder, three Dimension Wall, two Counter, and one Judgment of Anubis. For our extra deck, we have one HTS Simoth, we've got one TG Hyper Librarian, Kriston Quandrax, Tatsunoku, Paralis, the Purple Pyrotile, number 77, the Seven Sins, Ultimate Falcon, Leo Arms, Crazy Box, Tiger Mortar, Submersible Cario Aereo Shark, of course, we've got a Paleozoic here, Armored Kappa, and Baby Tyragon. The side deck I'll go over in a moment. So as the name implies, this is all about the mind games. This is about psyching out your opponent. They don't know what to expect. That's why we're playing 57 cards. Like, they see a 60-card deck, they know they're playing against lawn mowing next door. They see a 40-card deck, they know they're playing against someone competent. If they see a 57-card deck, they're going to assume you're a scrub. They're going to go easy on you. They're not going to commit everything to the field. It's the same reason we're playing the extra deck with only 14 cards. They see that up there, they're going to assume that you're a scrub, that you don't know how to fill out your extra deck, and that's where you've got them. Likewise, the side deck, even though your opponent won't see the side deck, you still want to have that psychologically there. Like, you know it's 14 cards, and you knowing it will make them know that you know. Now, most of the stuff in here should be pretty self-explanatory. I mean, we all know how Exodia works. We all know Sphere Mode, Lava Golem, and Volcanic Queen. I mean, the Kaijus are good, but these are just better. And you're playing a lot of one-ofs in this deck so that you're unpredictable. They see the Sphere Mode come out once, they're like, okay, we got this. All I gotta do is just keep 3 monsters off the field. As long as I don't have 3, he can't get me. That's when you Lava Golem. Then they're like, okay, I can't even keep 2 monsters on the field. I'll just get 1 big monster, and that's when you Volcanic Queen. And of course, you're all doing that burn damage. Works in there with the Magic Cylinders and the Dimension Wall. You're dealing a whole bunch of burn damage. And that's most of the ways you have how you win. Often, I mean, there's other ways you can win. There's other win conditions. We've got kind of a stun variant. We've kind of got a low-down, beat-down deck. Marshmallow, also very good at stun. Noisy Gnat, pretty much useless, but you summon this in attack position. A lot of times your opponents will quit because they think you're just being ridiculous. They think you're not being serious. They won't even want to play you. I mean, this guy, look at him. Just look at it. Zoom in there. No way. No, not even. Now, of course, because we're playing a lot of cards like Magic Cylinder and Dimension Wall, your opponent's going to want to use their Twin Twisters on that, and that's, again, building into the mind games. They get hit by Magic Cylinder once, and they're like, nope, not again. I'm going to start Twin Twistering everything. I'm not going to attack. And then you start getting them with Judgment of Anubis. You start getting them with Dark Coffin. You get Artifact Labrys, which a lot of people want to play Moltark. They want to play Scythe. Labrys has the highest attack, so I don't know why you wouldn't want to play Labrys. And we're playing Silver Sentinel. This guy is basically Moltark with a gun. You set him in your spell trap zone. If they destroy him during either player's turn, not only do you get to target a card and blow it up, but you get to special summon it, and it's level 4, so you can go into rank 4 plays. Of course, the only rank 4s we're playing are Crazy Box and Tiger Mortar. This has the highest attack of any level 4, and this is a Zodiac, so you're pretty much set with those. Likewise, we got Rizebel the Starpsyker. This is great playmaker, great underrated card. During either player's turn, it's a quickie. You can target 1 monster on the field, increase its level by 1. So you start using this on your cards during your turn. You know, they're not attacking you because they're afraid of Magic Cylinders. They're down to 100 attack points. And that's how you can make things like Leo Arms. Or if you can get 2 monsters up to level 12, then you can make the 7 Sins and summon it the old-fashioned way. So this is great for your Ixie summoning, but not only is it good for you, it's bad for your opponent too. Say they summon like a Goblinberg and then they summon another monster, probably a Rizebel the Starpsyker of their own. You just target that, you increase its level to 5, suddenly they can't Ixie summon anymore. They're going for like their level 8 Synchro, you'd be like, I hope you're playing level 9s because you've got a level 5 monster now. So either way, this is really good. Of course, you only played it 2 just because you don't want it to be too predictable. They'll never know when you have it. Engraver of the Mark, everyone knows how that works. There's not even a bother. We're playing 2 of the Honest and 3 of the Colute. These are the classic hand traps. Obviously, Honest, if a light monster gets attacked, you can discard Honest to make them take the damage. Colute, same way. If a Blackwing gets attacked, you can discard it, and that Blackwing gets the 1400. Of course, we're just playing the Honest. He's the only light monster in the deck, except for Marshmallow, really. So there's not too many targets, but that's what psychs them out. You play Honest in attack mode, and it's like, they know you have Honest in your deck. And why would you play Honest in attack mode if you didn't already have the Honest in your hand? There's been times I didn't even have cards in my hand. I play an Honest in attack mode, and my opponent's not going to attack into it because they don't know what's going on. They're just scared. They just want to go home. They just want to cry. And it's the same way with Colute. You summon a Colute, and they know that there's 2 other Colutes in there. They don't want to attack into 2800. And the few times they do, usually you have the Colute in your hand, and then bam, you're punishing them for it. The rest of this is just sort of like stall cards, things to let your combos get going, because you got a lot of juicy combos, you got to build them up. Pump Princess, if it's destroyed while it's in a monster zone, place it face up in your spell trap zone, and every turn during both players' standby phase, you add a counter to this. And so you get like 16, 17 turns in, this thing will have like 32 counters. For every counter, your opponent monsters lose 100 attack. So they got a Blue Eyes, nothing. They got a 7 Sins, it's at like 300 attack. Just amazing once you have like 20, 30 turns under your belt. Likewise, we got the classic stall, we got the Marshmallow, the Aroma Jar, can't be destroyed by battle. Karibo will stall you a turn, Swift Scarecrow, Battle Fader, Reptilian Naga. It's a standard build, I've just put a little bit of tweaks on it. As for the spell lineup, we've got Exchange, both players reveal their hands, add 1 card from each other's hands to their opponent's hands. Great way, we're not playing a lot of really great spells and traps in here, so no matter what your opponent gets, they're not going to be able to use it, but you're going to be able to take that Raigeki, that Dark Hole, whatever they need right of their hand every single time. Along with that, we're playing Gather Your Mind. This is probably one of the best targets for Exchange, because it's pretty much useless. All it does is add 1 Gather Your Mind from the deck to your hand, and you can only use this once per turn. And the thing is, we only play 2 of them, because you activate that one, you get the Gather Your Mind from your deck, and then next turn, your opponent's waiting. They're waiting. They know that you have that Gather Your Mind, and they're wondering why you're not activating it, and it's getting them scared. Yet again, this deck works on fear. It's kind of like a Batman deck. You get inside their head, they don't know what they're doing. They're wondering where that Gather Your Mind is, and then 3 turns in, you set it. And then there's just another trap, another thing that they're going to waste. They're like, oh, we finally set something. Let's MST it. Nope, just Gather Your Mind. Again, going with this, we also got the 1 present exchange. Each player banishes 1 card from their deck face down, and during the end phase, they add that card to their opponent's hand. So not only is this working like exchange, you're going to be able to get things, but a lot of people misread that. They don't know that it's going to their opponent's hand. So I've had times like I'll always give them Gather My Mind, and then I'll get that banished face down card from my opponent, and it's like a Magispector Kieran, or like a Stardust Charge Warrior or something like that. Same thing, creature swap, you could steal your opponent's monsters. That's why we're playing the 1 Ultimate Falcon if you happen to be playing against Raid Raptors, and you can exchange one of their rank up magics, and then also creature swap a Raid Raptor Ixie over to your side of the field, bam, you've got an instant Ultimate Falcon. Of course, we're playing Shard of Greed, best draw power in the game. I mean, a lot of people are playing Pot of Desires, but why would you go -10 when you could go +3 with 3 of these? Speaking of which, I should mention, this is based off of Yugimation had a deck. I believe it went undefeated at YCS Anaheim. Really good kind of mind games deck. This is kind of based off of that. I've taken some of his spicy techs like Shard of Greed and Noisy Gnat, but I think I've improved on it a little bit. So I just wanted to give him a shout out. I'm going to link his original video down in the description. If you're wondering where this all came from, it's definitely stolen from him. Speaking of spicy techs, we've got Prohibition. Most people, if you first turn Prohibition, if you go first and you happen to guess what they're playing, they will just quit. They'll think that you're a psychic. They'll think that you have like mind powers. They've seen scanners. They don't want their head to explode, so they're just going to quit. They're just going to leave right now. I already mentioned Pot of Desires. Because everyone's running it, we won the 1 DD Dynamite, because if they've resolved 3 Pot of Desires, that's 9,000 attack right there. That's an OTK. Likewise, that's why we're playing Counter, because almost everyone's playing Solemn Strike, and they're going to pay 1,500 life points. Bam! Negated. They're not getting those life points back. And same thing with Anti-Raigeki. I think I've scoffed at this card before, but as Captain Cardsworth says, you'd be a fool not to play Raigeki, and with everyone playing Raigeki, you'd be a fool not to play Anti-Raigeki. As for the rest of the extra deck, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. We're playing a couple of the best monsters from each level category. We got some 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s, just in case you get your various monsters out here. Like I said, you can raise to get those. We're not playing any tuners, but we are playing creature swap and exchange. So if you happen to steal a tuner from your opponent, then you have access to some of these other ones. Again, we're taking some of the more common levels, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we've got a little bit of each one. So no matter what you steal, you should be able to use something you have to make one of these. As for the side deck, this is probably what I would run on the side deck. You've got some pretty spicy things. Trap Hole of Spikes can be good for decks that your Magic Cylinders can't use. Just a Break, if you want to summon your Exodia pieces. This is essentially Mirror Force, just for normal monsters, and people don't expect it. I mean, it's a common tactic now where people will prohibition the various Mirror Forces, but no one prohibitions Just a Break, so you're always set. Of course, White Hole, if your opponent's playing Dark Hole in addition to Raigeki, then you've got set on that. Another DD Dynamite for those banished decks. Amulet of Ambition, again, if you want to go for the more Exodia beatdown. I mean, you can't equip Amulet of Ambition on this, but any normal monster. And we've got 4 to choose from, so your chances are pretty high. And going with our battle traps, I mean, we've got more Miracle Synchro Fusion. You can't fusion summon with it, but if you set it and your opponent destroys it, you're drawing a card, so that's even more pluses. And, I mean, the rest of these are just common staples. I don't really need to tell you why Chow Chow Chan is really all that good. I mean, it's been a staple for so long. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck. Like I said, pretty simple deck, a little bit tricky, probably one of the best decks I've ever made. Very, very good. Next week, I'm going to be looking at something a little bit normal. I'm not going to be going Super Saiyan level 4 against my opponents. I'm just going to be playing regular decks again, things that give people an actual chance to win. I'll be playing some Shino Birds. So until then, good luck and have fuck.